Next topic. And this next topic is, are you a believer? And unfortunately, we're doing this because of the fact that my man's Jimmy.
Fucking murderer.
Justin, you interviewed Jimmy at All-Star Weekend. You want to talk about it. So before we talk about Timberwolves, are you a believer? Before Jimmy got hurt, you got a chance to interview him. Talk to us about it.
I did. It was cool. I went to this Jordan Brand event in downtown LA, and I got to ask Jimmy a couple questions. One of the questions I asked him was about the minutes that he played. Jimmy averages 37.3 minutes that leads the league. And when I told him the stat, I read it back, he was like, yeah, like, of course I'm like leading the league in minutes, was sort of his response. And then he followed up by, my question was, is how much Tibbs plays you, and also the fact that Towns and Wiggins are also both top 20 players in the league in minutes. Does that contribute to success? What do you think about the strategy? And he was in support of it. I mean, he's not going to throw his coach under the bus, but like, there's reason to believe that the amount of minutes he's playing causes a non-contact injury, and it's a little foreshadowing. I thought that he would be so blasé about it, and then he got hurt. It was bad.
I mean, but even still, first, my reaction when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, ACL. Like, I thought that he tore his ACL. And I'm like, yo, like, Tibbs, this is like, you are legit a murderer. This is like the sixth body you've had.
But because of a different injury, you don't feel the same way about it?
Yeah, no, it's a meniscus. I do. That's a different thing, though.
I do, but my thing is, I mean, because even I felt the same way with Boogie's injury. Remember the night, I think 2 nights before he tore his Achilles, he had like a 50-minute overtime. I'm like, yo, the man's like 7 feet, 300. He can't be playing that many minutes. Yeah. And he tore his, like, yo, the pace of the game has picked up a lot since the 90s. So even though people played like 40 minutes back then, like the pace, you weren't up and down as much.
You weren't closing out, covering up for someone else. You weren't running all over the court.
Exactly.
I bet the miles per game log was like way higher.
Like even Michael said, like, yo, there was ways for me to get rest in the game. He was like, yo, I'm tired tonight, so tonight I'm just going to post all game. Yeah. And the illegal defense
I didn't know he said that.
Yeah, wow. And like the illegal defense thing was like going on back then. So like when you got the ball, couldn't nobody come help until you got to the rim. If you Michael Jordan, you easily one-on-one isolation, I'm getting buckets, I'm still getting 30. Yeah. These days you can't do that. We up and down the court, the pace is picked up much more than what it was, like you said, back in the 90s. Like, yo, you can't have these guys out there 37, 38 minutes a night. And the way the Timberwolves play the best is when they get up and down the court. Ain't like you playing for the Spurs playing 37 minutes a night when you like slopping the game up. You not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I also got a stat, right? This is according to runnersworld.com. Basically, it says that according to the site NBAMiner.com, which tracks advanced player statistics, running the most during the 2016 season was Jimmy Butler of the Chicago Bulls at 2.74 miles per game. No, that was in 2016.
Right.
Hoiberg was in there in 20...
Yeah, Hoiberg was.
He was on it for 2 years.
Yeah,
but still, even think about that. Like Jimmy's got a lot of mileage on his body,
right? But it's not Tibbs' fault according to that statistic.
I mean, I don't think, and even in that, I think his knee got bumped by Nene, didn't it? Didn't it get bumped by Nene?
His other knee, though.
His other knee.
His other knee got bumped, and then he like took a step with his he bumped like right knees with Nene, and then he took a step with his left knee, and that was the one that tore.
Yeah, it was a non-contact injury.
It was a weird.
Yeah, it was just a weird play. Like it didn't. I'm not worried about it. If it was an ACL, I would have been worried. But if it's a meniscus, whatever, you can take that shit out. Like D Wade is trash without his meniscus. Huh?
Don't take my meniscus.
Russ got his meniscus taken out.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Russ got his meniscus taken out, I think.
It's like it's under some like shady mystery about like what kind of surgery they did with him too. They're not putting it out.
Go Russ
for Jimmy because they said
they did give a 4 to 6 week timetable,
right? Which makes people think that they just took it out. But like you can either do surgery on it, which is like a 6-month recovery, or you can take it out completely. I think that's what Eric Bledsoe did, maybe.
Yeah, I think D-Rose the first time he let it reattach. And then when he tore it again, they just took it out.
Yeah,
that's why he was back like on the court. Remember he tore like Milwaukee. He came back for the playoffs. Yeah, but the first time when he tore it against Portland, he was out for the whole year because they tried to let it reattach. But I mean, yeah. So back to the question, like the Timberwolves right now, they are. Let me look at the standings.
They're third in the NBA. I'm sorry. They're fourth in the NBA,
No, they're fourth in the West.
They're
at 37.
Fourth in the West. My bad.
They're at 37 and 26, and they're basically, if they lose 3 games, they're out the playoffs. So are you a believer in the Timberwolves?
Well, so Noah and I were talking about this last night, and when you look at who's on the bubble, I think it's realistic to think that like the Jazz are going to make the playoffs, but the other teams that aren't in there, like I don't think the Clippers are going to be better than the Wolves, even with this. Like, I don't know. Probably knows their schedule better.
Clippers are 7-3 though.
The Clippers and the Pelicans both have like really hard schedules. Minnesota has a tough March, but then I think
the Clippers play upcoming the Nuggets, then the Rockets, then their next tough game after that would be the Pelicans on March 6th. Then after that they play the Cavs on March 9th. Then they play the Rockets again on the 15th. Then they play OKC again on the 16th. Then they play Portland on the 18th. Yeah, then they play Portland again on the 30th. They play the Spurs again, the Jazz again, the Nuggets again, the Pelicans again. Yeah, it's gonna be really tough for the Clippers to make it in. So I think I still think that the Clippers are gonna that the Clippers will probably make the playoffs.
I mean, Minnesota still thinking, Jesus Christ.
And I still think that Utah might make the playoffs. I think that the Timberwolves are gonna be the odd man out.
I mean, Minnesota's next couple games.
Jimmy and Wiggins literally have to like both elevate themselves to like
Towns and Wiggins.
Towns. Well, actually, I was gonna say that about Jimmy for this team for them to get to the second round, but Towns and Wiggins, they got to elevate themselves to like MVP level. In order for them, yes, they both do.
MVP, no.
Yes, they do. For them to continue to maintain
make the playoffs, pace. No.
Other than this, they gonna get knocked out in the first round. It's like, what the fuck?
I mean, they get knocked out in the first round regardless, but they gonna make the playoffs.
I damn near wouldn't mind it. Fucking give me a lottery pick. This draft class is loaded. It's loaded, and then we get Jimmy back next year with a fucking lottery pick. If they ain't good enough, then we know Jimmy's the guy. Look. It is what it is.
This is when
I gotta go. This draft class is loaded.
This is when I gotta go into GM mode, Pavy. Minnesota hasn't been in the playoffs since when?
Since like
I feel like I was probably a minor. Actually, no, not probably a minor. I was a minor. I don't even know if I was in high school yet.
It was 04, right?
That sounds right. Yeah. Do they have the longest drought?
Yeah, I wasn't in high school. So you have a franchise who hasn't got playoff revenue since 2000. iPhones didn't exist. Camera phones took terrible pictures. We didn't even have. Did we even have wireless internet?
Yes.
In 04?
Yeah.
We did?
Definitely.
But it wasn't that. And Russ did not have his meniscus removed, just for the record.
Okay, regardless. There is a lot of stuff that happened in the world. Drake wasn't even out. Drake had no songs out. Drake had no songs out. Drake's first mixtape wasn't even out.
He was in a wheelchair.
He was in a wheelchair.
Jay-Z hadn't retired from rap yet, I don't think, damn near. Or he was, first time. Or no, we thought that he was retired from rap. Yeah. When this happened. So like, yo, you want to get playoff revenue. You want to get in the playoffs and make sure you get some playoff revenue and get this fan base excited. Like, yo, if the two young guys can get you in the playoffs, that's great for you.
Teague balled out the other night.
Did that crazy Ron Artest fight happen yet?
He's a good player.
No, Teague is not a good player.
I like Titus. I like Titus better.
Teague is dead ass awful.
Teague can run the offense. He's fast. Titus should be playing defense.
That's called the mouse and the pounds.
Mouse and the pounds.
Because both of them are
Mavs 2 point guards.
Probably because both. Yeah, but the Mavs suck.
Yeah, but they have good sets.
They do have good sets. But I mean, just look at the Timberwolves schedule. Like, okay, it is for at least halfway through March. It's fucking brutal. Yeah. You have the Kings on Monday, win. Then you have the Blazers, the Jazz, the Celtics, the Warriors, Wizards, Spurs, Rockets, Clippers, then Knicks. But Philly is on like a 7-game win streak. Then you got Memphis, Atlanta, Dallas, win all those games. Utah, Denver.
No, don't say Utah like Utah is.
Denver's tough.
Utah and Denver tough.
Yeah, tough.
For that team,
Lakers, Memphis, Denver, like so they have a.
It's tough like right now, and they're gonna lose a bunch of games. But if they can like keep their composure, then they have an easy stretch after that.
I think they'll probably end up like 7 or 8, but I think that they'll make the playoffs. I don't think they'll fall completely out the playoffs. I think they'll make the playoffs. I think Towns is having an incredibly efficient year.
Yeah.
Now a lot of that may be because you're playing with Jimmy, you're playing with Wiggins, you like playing with other. I mean, even like Teague. But I think you have a veteran team. Enough veterans. I mean, that just means Crawford gets more shots. That means Titus probably gets a little bit more shots. Teague gets more shots. Wiggins. I like Wiggins. Wiggins can score. If it's one thing we know Wiggins can do, is score.
Yeah, but like 17 a game, not 25.
Wiggins can get you 22
He can
a
help
night.
you to 20 a game.